We just released a trailer and Steam page for a horror game, but while making them, we noticed a problem. There's a few other horror games already out there. We've already changed the gameplay to help it stand out, but not so much at the surface level. In short, the game needs to be more marketable. Whoa, calm down there. I know, you're probably thinking,
Peter, don't turn me into marketable plushies.
When I use the word marketable, I'm referring to something being the most appealing version of itself to reach the biggest audience. And when I say appealing, that does not automatically mean cute, it means interesting. You want to appeal to your desired audience, and you don't have to babyify it unless your audience is babies. And it can't only be appealing, it needs to fit your game. These are some creatures that I think are marketable, unique, and not cute. So how do we apply this to our game? Wait, what is our game? I guess here's a very quick recap in case you're new here. I'm Isaac.
I'm Gunnar. I'm Preston.
And our game is now officially titled Feed the Pit. You've been accepted into ECC, a society worshipping a horrifying pit in the ground named Elijah. You'll need to enter the nearby woods and avoid monsters while performing bizarre rituals in order to find a dead body and keep Elijah fed. Alright, how do we market this game? That question is actually really tough. If it were easy, every indie developer would be rich. But it is unbelievably important to answer. You need to get your game out there and build up lots of hype before launch. Oh, and that reminds me, go wishlist, Feed the Pit on Steam. It's gonna be so cool. Every wishlist counts, so please check it out and share with your friends. Okay, anyways, let's talk about progress now. What part of Feed the Pit could we make more appealing and interesting? It's the pit. The pit is boring and too shallow. Literally. So ours is now bottomless. And he's been elevated to 45-degree wall status. A friend suggested I look into something called Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, and spoiler, it's cool. A visual that really struck a chord with me was the presence of man-made objects in such an organic environment. I tried to think of how to apply it, and now when Elijah shuts his mouth, you'll see this. How does it work? Why is it here? Wouldn't you like to know? But you know what's a lot scarier than Elijah? What just keeps me awake at night shivering beneath the covers? The idea of you not having the skills you need when you need the skills you don't have yet. The fact that you, yes you, are watching this devlog probably means that you're hoping to learn something, which is why this video is sponsored by Skillshare. It is an aspiring game developer's dream with classes for every topic you need to know, and you can now sort classes by software and material to make sure you're learning about the exact topics you want to learn about. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives in general. They have thousands of classes led by industry experts. Whether you're in film, illustration, design, or just about any other creative field, there's a good chance they've got a class for it. With Skillshare, you can take your careers, skills, hobbies, or passions to the next level. When starting your learning journey, you'll be asked a few quick questions, and Skillshare will suggest classes tailored to you. And hey, get this, lean in real close. The first 500 people to join Skillshare using our link get 1 month of Skillshare Premium for free. 1 month, literally free. F-R-E-E free. So check our link in the description to join, and a big thank you to Skillshare. Well, Elijah's looking a lot better, and we already revamped the Pit Chanter, so now let's market this thing. We need the Steam page, and there's a lot of crucial parts to get right, like good screenshots, a captivating hook, and most importantly, the capsule art. It's basically your game's thumbnail, and it's gonna show up all over Steam, so it's gotta pop. This is my first attempt. It's cool, but too dark and too detailed. I'm gonna put alongside other games.
Where'd he go?
So for attempt 2, red everywhere, silhouetted everything, and a visual of the pit being fed. Does it pop? Oh yeah, it pops. Finally, we made a trailer, which you should check out if you haven't already. A lot of work went into it. Music, rigs, animation, blah. To be honest, it could basically be its own video, so if it's something you'd really want to hear me talk about in the future, leave a comment letting me know and I'll do it. But this was it. I honestly am really proud of it. So we launched it, and lucky for us, the response was very positive. The numbers weren't mind-blowing, but they're a great start. So far, we've racked up 500 wishlists. And hey, if you all get us to 1,000 wishlists by the next video, I promise I'll do something cool. I don't know, give me ideas in the comments on what reward you'd like. And speaking of comments, let's read a few. This looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to play it. Fantastic opinion. Oh, it's gonna be good. Well, I hope so. Reminds me of Feed Me Billy from Puppet Combo. Feed Me Billy, what's that? So, it's a 30-minute retro-styled horror game where you feed people to a giant living pit. I swear on Elijah that none of us had ever seen this game before. We were all watching this gameplay with our jaws just on the floor. I genuinely don't get how it happens. And it's not like we can just remove the pit either. It's not all bad. The games are completely different on the inside. The gameplay is entirely different. Ours has a big focus on monsters, and Feed the Pit is a much longer game. Still, really weird coincidence. We'll do what we can to help differentiate our game wherever possible, because we don't want to step on their toes. And go support Puppet Combo. Their games are genuinely amazing. And if you like Feed the Pit, go play Feed Me Billy as part of Scary Tales Volume 1. It'll be linked in the description. Well, I think it's time to switch topics. Why don't we hop into some actual game progress?
It's only been a month since our last devlog, but there has been a decent amount of changes. The first one I'd like to discuss is the spirit. Using the compass to activate any ritual, a spirit will spawn nearby and come to finish the ritual step. Now, this spirit is a gamble. If the spirit is friendly, then no worries. But if the spirit is hostile, you have to be alert. The hostile spirit will give you a command that you must follow. Or else. Next, let's quickly talk about the Nemesis. All the feedback we got on playtest was positive, but we still slightly reworked him as he was kind of basic. We also added a monsters entry to the journal that will have information about each monster you encounter. Information will be revealed as you play with that monster. And since we're on the topic of the Nemesis, I might as well talk about the bugs I encountered. Yeah, don't worry, we got more bugs to showcase. The first bug caused the Nemesis to float upwards. Even weeks after I fixed it, I still have no idea what caused this. Its velocity in all directions was 0, and I couldn't find anywhere in the code that would be teleporting him up.
What is it? What is it?
It was fixed the same day by just scrapping what I had and doing it from scratch again. I like to imagine that he was just the honored one. Gome. Amenai. The second bug has actually been in the game for a while, but it kept eluding me. Although not currently in the game, we used to have rabbits in deer roam the forest, and for some reason, they would sometimes double in size randomly. Cut to the present, and I found out what caused it. Most entities in the game are sized down from their default value of 1, usually to 0.4. I assume that what I'm about to say is fixed in newer versions of Godot. Every object has a rotation property. I think you can guess what that does. Well, for some reason, changing the global version of it causes objects to reset their skill back to 1. I fixed this by making it change the local value instead of the global one. Let's see. Oh, the rituals are now randomized. They will appear at the same spots, but which structure is at the spot is completely random. A very nice touch and greatly added replayability, but it makes me have to rebake the nav mesh when the level loads. In the future, I should only rebake those specific sections, but currently it rebakes the entire nav mesh. How slow this is on other computers, I have no idea.
My PC!
The last thing I want to discuss is interiors. Currently interiors are like this, which is pretty good, but sometimes we want to get a bit more creative. Some buildings will have an interior separate from the structure and teleport the player to it. Not the best demonstration I could show, but I hope it gets the message across. That about wraps up my section. See you.
Hey y'all, Preston here, and oh boy, it's been a month. And what did I spend that month doing? I built our hideout in Minecraft. Now wait, just hear me out. While we talked about how we wanted to lay out our base, we had trouble agreeing on how we wanted things to get laid out, and what we wanted the player to feel, and how they felt traversing the hub, without wasting too much time making a whole model. And then, I had an amazing idea. Minecraft. Then we got some windows surrounding, some hay bales, and some of the other pitch antlers.
I can't with this guy.
This is the barn. This is the entrance to the hideout, and where the player will park their truck. The start of every great journey. That barn. Like, Animal Farm. That's a great example. Here we have the main level, where the pit chanters live, reside, and another word for live. I'm too lazy to look it up. And this is Elijah's room, which has changed quite a bit since this initially was dropped, but this is a general idea of what you'll see. Now you have a general idea of what the hideout will look like, and hopefully, by the next devlog, we should have a near-finished product to show off. After your feedback, of course. So, after we got the concept of the hideout fleshed out, I had a couple of things on the priority list. First being one of the most important things for any game, no, concept in general, is a strong logo. A good logo should tell the consumer a few things. 1, what do you want them to feel? 2, is it clear what we're selling? And 3, is it recognizable in a crowd of logos? Now, how did we set out to achieve every mark? We liked the 3 colors and felt they contrasted well, and the logo had a recognizable shape. However, we missed the first mark being, it doesn't really show it's a horror game. Kind of just looks like a nature conservation game. I mean, I'd still play that, but still. However, I then came up with this. This one better shows off the horror, the pixel art shows off that it's a video game, and with this unique shape and, well, teeth and eyes, it stands out in a crowd. Now that that's all finished up, time to travel across the country. No, seriously, when this releases, I'm gonna be in like Georgia or Alabama or something. Here are a couple of pictures of my travel so far, assuming this devlog gets out on time. Well, I gotta skedaddle. Have a skedaddleful day. Bye.
But the Steam page released its Back to Our Cave so we can grind out the game. Expect some creepy new monsters by next month. Please consider wishlisting and sharing Feed the Pit with your friends. Remember, get us to 1,000 wishlists and something good will happen. And as the game gets further along, we need some testers. You could playtest for just $10 on our Patreon, and there's lots of other cool rewards too. Every bit of support allows us to pour more time straight into the game. Check out our Discord if you want to chat. In the meantime, a huge thank you to our patrons and a special shout out to Alex Amalur, Icarus Softpaw, Tibbers, WatermelonZest, and Strepo Studios. Thank you all so much,
and we'll see you soon.